Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5. We will present on good versus bad argument on how to argue and win in respectful manners.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohamad Amirun. I will present about definition of argument and example of argument. Firstly, what is argument? Argument is a simpler form, is a group of statement, one or more of which the premise are claimed to provide support for, all reason to believe one of the others the conclusion. For the good argument is a one in which the premise give a good reason to believe the conclusion is true. A good argument is a one that present a conclusion and then give a good reason for accepting it. For the bad argument is a one in which the premise do not give a good reason to accept the conclusion. The conclusion may be true, but the reason do not give a good reason to accept it. Okay, the next is example for the good and bad argument. Good argument is all the argument premise are true. For example, Aina is Adam's sister and Adam is a Sarah brother. Therefore, Aina is Sarah's sister. For the bad argument example, bad argument is the argument has a four premise. Example is, if there is a purple elephant in the hall, then I am giant turkey. There is a purple elephant in the hall, therefore I am giant turkey.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Harith bin Husrin. Entry number 1926065. So I will continue about this presentation talking about the purposes of arguing. Okay, first of all is to change people points of view or persuade them to accept the new points of view. Meaning here, when you argue, you have your own point of view, your own opinion. So your opinion can be a reason for someone. Okay, so we want them to accept. Okay, we tell them, we argue them, we give them reason so that they can accept our reason or our point of view, and we can help them. Okay, to change if they have some thought or they have some reasoning that in a wrong matter. So we can help to change that. Okay, second is to persuade people to a particular action or behavior. Like I mentioned just now, sometimes when you do an argument, meaning that you give some reason for someone. Okay, if the situation of the someone is in a wrong situation, so because of your argument, because of your reasoning, you can make them to believe that they can change and they act in a better way with a certain behavior. Okay, third is to learn how to clarify our own thought and articulate them honestly and accurately. Meaning here, when you talk, okay, when you share your opinion, okay, when you argue your points of view with others, first of all you must clarify, okay, your thought. Okay, then you must make sure that information is true and can be believed by others, and you must tell to others, okay, with the information you have honestly. Okay, and of course the information must be accurate for those who hear to your arguments. Okay, lastly is to consider the ideas of others in a respectful manner and critical manner. In our presentation, we're gonna talk a lot, okay, focus on the respectful manner. So but the thing here is to consider the ideas of others. Okay, when you argue, you're gonna argue with someone else, okay, with a person. We don't know the background of the person and how they think about a situation and what are their reasoning for a situation. So you as a person, okay, with a good manner, you must hear them and accept the idea and try to consider their idea. Okay, next, how to argue. Okay, briefly, okay, I'm gonna share with you something that very general. Okay, if you want to argue something, okay, with someone, okay, first of all is you must keep it logical. Okay, meaning here that don't let your own feeling or your emotions to take over the situation, and you must stay focused. Okay, stay focused on what are you discuss or what are you want to stand up with. Alright, so that's the first one. Second, don't bring up the past. Okay, somehow there will be a person that gonna talk, okay, about past more than the current situation. So you as a person who want to argue on something, you must remember that you're gonna talk that is something currently happen or any issues that related to the current situation only. Okay, it is okay, okay, to take a look back at the past, but don't make the past as the whole story on your argument. Alright, so the third one is listen and clarify what you don't understand. Okay, so there will be some situation that people tend to do assumptions onto many things, right? They can easily say, okay, without thinking more about it, deeper about it. So you must avoid to make assumption. You must clarify. Okay, clarify the information that you want to tell to others. Okay, if you're unsure about the information, You must get the true information. You can do any research, ask anyone who may be expert, okay, in that issue, and so on. And lastly is to decide what is worth an argument. Okay, this is important. We can see that nowadays there are some situations that people tend to argue, but the argument doesn't bring to anywhere. It just in Malay say like bual kosong. Okay, so you must remember in your mind that if you argue with someone, you make sure that the argument is something that make you be productive. Okay, you learn something from the argument, even from all side that involved. Okay, from your own side, from your friend's side, or anyone. Okay, make it productive and don't make the argument without a clear objective. Lastly, for my part is to tell or to share with you about the benefits. There are many benefits, okay, when you come to argue, okay, about something, to share your point of views. But here is something that maybe we can get, okay, if you do any arguments with others, but in a respectful manner lah. Okay, first is confident boost. Okay, when you present something, especially with a good presentation, it will help you to increase your confidence level. Okay, it's more to the skill in yourself, and when you have a confident boost, okay, you have the confidence to talk more, to stand up with your opinion, so you will able to take the responsibility, okay, for standing on a issue to say or to argue with someone else, and somehow you may take a risk, okay, to stand up, tell others, okay, to argue on certain issue. Alright, so this is the first one. Second is becoming socially conscious. Okay, when you evolve in argument, okay, especially we can say that if involved in debating, okay, in discussion, as a person you're gonna be more aware on to the issues, especially any issue that related around us, okay, can be political issues, social issues, okay, environmental issues, many things. Okay, so you're gonna be someone who aware with this thing. Okay, and when you're aware, you know what you must read, what you must research, make some research, then you can address an issue in a whole range, meaning that you can discuss a topic in a bigger or in a bigger perspective. So because earlier maybe you're gonna talk from your own point of view, but then if you make some reading, okay, ask some expert, then you know what are things that they say can be a helpful knowledge for you to share with others in doing any argument. Alright, and lastly, an expanded worldview. Okay, this is important thing because you as a person, okay, who gonna make any arguments, okay, share opinions, you won't only touch, okay, on specific topics. Meaning here that, okay, today I'm gonna example like, okay, I just want to share about political, okay, I'm gonna say about how does our government nowadays. But then if you involve more in this argument or involve more to share more opinions, you're gonna see that yourself gonna involve in more topics, okay, a variety of topics or issues. Maybe as the base, you're gonna talk about politics, but then you're gonna slowly talk about environmental issues, then about social issues, about education issues, so many things. So because of that, you're gonna get a better understanding of the society and world. You have expanded in your mind, okay, you have do many research, you have go ask or read anything materials that related to your issues as a evidence you want to say to others. So that's make you understand about the social more, society more, and you're gonna understand the world more. So that's all generally for me. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Syafiq Azril bin Muhammad Fadli 1912730. So I will move on to the next slide, which is the winning side of an argument. So basically, winning side or good arguments consists a few elements for us to identify whether it is a good or bad arguments to win in a debate or argumentation. So now I will share with you the elements to be able to tell when the arguments are Actually, it is quite simple. Good arguments are either cogent or sound, and otherwise, if it's not like that, it's a bad argument. So as you can see the diagram that I have already provided in the slide, we can see that the relation of how an argument can make us win or can make us, we can see the criteria or can say the elements or bad arguments. So actually, for a better explanation, for a better understanding, I will give you all an example of a good or winning argument first. So look at the sentence. Aina is Syafiq's sister and Syafiq is Syafirul's brother. Therefore, Aina is Syafirul's sister. Here you can see that all the arguments premises are true. This I'll talk about the elements of a good. Then the argument is, we can say it's sound and it is actually a good argument, or even we can say a winning side of an argument. Secondly, I will move on to the next example. As you can see the sentence on the slide, it sounds, I have a very strong feeling that my favorite football club is on the winning side tonight. So I'm quite confident that they will get the winning trophy tonight. So what we can see here is that this example shows that you may have a non-deductive argument in which either strong or weak, meaning here that when the argument is weak, then the argument is bad. Then when the argument is bad, then we will be on the losing side of even debate or just an argumentation, simple argumentation. Say, you could say that the premises failed in this sentence is failed to provide support for the conclusion altogether. So actually, for us to have a winning argument, so this is actually simple. It is quite easy actually to win an argument as long as I said before, as we stay in line with a valid, sound and also cogent argument. Thank you. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Tuan Hafiz bin Tuan Asmawera, and I will explain about the respectful manner. Good manners are important for considering the feeling of other people and being the kind of person that others will like and respect. So if you are respectful to others, then you are more likely to be treated with respect by them. The key word is relationship. If you show good manners everywhere you go, you are more likely to encourage others to behave in the same way toward you. People determine your value to them, so in great part by the way you make them feel when they are in contact with you. If you can see the example from the slide, showing good manners in your speech reveal that you have respect for people, for others as well as for yourself, as make you much more enjoyable to be around. This involve you to be delicate, how you control the ego, accepting compliment, and also control the feeling, emotion, and how we express opinion to people. So there are some elements we can take for improve our manners in argument. We can use small statement. This means in order before making argument, we should consider on our action, our behavior, our thinking that may develop and come out after hear our friend doing his impression or opinion. So think about that. Is that proper way, good or bad, whether right or wrong? We use the action, so this behavior may affect him soon. And then the second one is building the bridge. This means maintaining the relationship with focus on the argument, not the person. The way is every one of us have different opinion and you cannot face them to agree with your opinion. So respect their feeling and talk the best way for improve our relationship with them. And the last element we can use, focus on their speech before start speaking. Don't interrupt and make provocation, for example, and always be open-minded. Then it will give more respect between both us and our opinion during argument. From this slide, this is the aspect we need to avoid during argument. You show negative appearance on your word based your action or behavior that could lead discussion become wrong way because you cannot accept her or his opinion. So it was any action that affected person to speak speak with an argument because some provocation that you make that make the surrounding become uncomfortable moment. For example, in terms of behavior, being skeptical to opinion, you are not accepting other opinion, you are close-minded, too much emotional, sarcastic, and many more. While for thinking example, such as you setting your mind become authoritarian approach, or being like a boss and think you are always true, which develop you to become very close-minded person. So because of that action, the learned way you become wrong way, which means your discussion, your argument become narrow and not respectful. Last but not least, talking about Islamic manner perspective on argument. It is not wrong to have argument with people, including police, politicians, teachers, and other men, because this will help you to build the knowledge. But there are boundaries in Islam stated to make sure argument not become negative way. There are some examples of ethics and manners in Islam. So Muslims should always supplicate to Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala to open their heart, to open their mind to the truth. Basically, Islam encourages to become open-minded, but should put the guidance from Al-Quran and Hadith. And Muslims also need to take care of the relationship, and it was one of the most compulsory things to do as a Muslim. So Islamic manners application will boost the argument, become more informative and attractive.
I will continue explain about appreciate application in formal and informal affairs. Appreciate application for formal is debate, musyawarah, and forum. For informal is a class discussion and daily conversation. Appropriate application for debate. Firstly is do not dress tight and open during the debate. Next, see the judge when speak and speak while standing. Third is stay relaxed. Make sure you stay in relaxed environment during the debate, and of course not raising your voice. Express your opinion with feeling and speak clearly, slowly and loudly. Limit joke for those that appropriate in professional situation. To tell joke that don't fit the style or offend certain circle. And lastly, end the debate amicably, because you may disagree with someone but does mean you can be a friend. Next is a musyawarah. The word musyawarah comes from Arabic word which means negotiating together to get solution. Appropriate application. Firstly, held based on mutual interest. Second, put the public interest before personal interest. Next, the proposed opinion or suggestion work politely and use language with the easier to understand and does not burden the member of the musyawarah. During the musyawarah, do not force personal opinion to accept by the public. Every decision, either as the result consensus or based a majority vote, must be accepted and implemented. Lastly, when the consensus cannot be reached, even though has been tried many times, then the most vote should be chosen in the musyawarah. Appropriate application for forum. Firstly, must skillful in using the language want to use in forum, such as Malay or English, which is use the standard language instead of the accent or dialect. Second, fluent in speaking and think before speak and make statement. Do not talk slow in the forum. Forum using appropriate topic and not sensitive issues such as racism or involving politics in the forum. Next, the tone of the conversation should be appropriate to the situation as well as facial expression. Lastly, body movement should also be controlled in the forum because maturity is so important, and not too over and aggressive by sit nicely in the forum. Appropriate application in class discussion. Firstly, give greeting before starting discussion. Say hello and greet by saying his name. For example, hi Ali. Second, make other feel comfortable. Make other feel that you're giving their all your attention. And lastly, take time to listen. Really listening to what people are saying can help and lead to more enjoyable and more productive discussion in class. Appropriate application in daily conversation. Firstly, start with the low tone start the conversation to create a better conducive conversation. Second, you must say goodbye nicely at the end of conversation. You have made the person feel important, such as nice to meet you or nice to talk with you, and so on. Don't talk too much because it will bore the listener. Avoid lies and do not brave. For the last part is a conclusion. In conversation with humans, we must respect each other. Need to respect their view and their stand. In addition, We'll also need to know how to communicate properly to be able to avoid issue that will happen. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.